Are you a conspiracy theorist? Are you?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Uncommon Sense, the channel where we question everything and we learn together. Right about there. Let me start that over.
Damn it, Dylan!
Pay attention!
Are you ready?
Let's do this! Alrighty then!
Well, alrighty then. It's Fireman Bill. And Homie the Clown. Homie don't play that.
Homie, don't play that game. Open a can of whoop ass. Okay. Alright, so there's this interesting conversation going on in our comment section. First of all, yes, I am a genius. Thank you.
I'm certified. Used to be a member of Mensa. So, thanks for noticing.
I'm a self-proclaimed genius.
My IQ is 147, so it's above the genius I level of
I've actually
140.
never taken an IQ test.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I don't really care.
It's all right, though. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to have common sense. You just
don't have to be a genius to think for yourself either.
Right. You just have to be, have common sense. That's all.
You don't have to
asked.
be a genius to question what's going on in the world,
right.
to wonder what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And to...
Sort of like certain major cities where they keep electing the same officials over and over, one party over and over again. And,
isn't that
something different?
That's a definition of a word.
Yeah. Lunacy.
Insanity.
Insanity.
See, there's a difference between being insane and being crazy. I might be crazy, but I'm not insane. Right, Butch?
Yeah, about that.
Back to us being geniuses.
Yeah, back to us being geniuses. A certain comment was put out there for Uncommon Sense, and don't get us wrong, we love all comments, good or bad, and we like to be able to have an open discussion. But when someone tries to, I have to agree with that if someone tries to insult or belittle, without offering anything of usefulness,
he says, I see how quickly you are to insult and try to belittle, but I also notice you contribute nothing. So, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all going to have our opinions. Have your opinion, that's fine. But if you can't contribute to the conversation other than
in a
being
positive
angry
manner
and yelling 3,000 times twice, you're not really helping yourself or anyone else.
Right.
Because
that's
a sign that you're stuck in your opinion and there's no
variance.
Yeah, there's no open-minded conversation happening around here.
Right.
You know, it's you agree with me or you're wrong. You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with us. We don't expect everyone to agree with us.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, everyone's got their own opinions, and they don't have to align with my opinions. But at least if they had some common sense to them, I wouldn't question them.
Well, and it's like we say, this is the channel where we question everything and we learn together. So if you're going to question, that's great.
Yeah.
Give us some content that we can all learn from together.
If you have a question about something, then we might not know it off the bat. I mean,
and I've never said we didn't get cocky about our opinions, because I know we do.
We do get cocky about our opinions, but we don't try to impress those opinions upon others.
Yeah, I don't expect anyone else to believe or think the way that I believe or think, you know, but that doesn't mean that I'm not, that doesn't mean that you, just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean you can't collect the same information.
Right. Openly discuss or learn from.
Yeah. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And if the general population does not have knowledge to share, we have lost all power.
Yes. And I don't care what side of the spectrum you are politically. This is America. It should be about America. It should be for America. And it's for the people, by the people.
Well, and what gets me too is the ones that get angry about opinions like ours or anything that differs from their opinion, and they want to silence us. And I'm not saying that this person wanted to silence us. I'm just saying that there's a lot like that have that type of reaction that would want to silence those that don't agree with them. But then there are also the same people that turn around and want to preach free speech to us when we don't agree with what they said.
Right.
Free speech goes all directions, you know. You can't say one person has free speech and the other person doesn't simply because it disagrees with whatever narrative
Right.
or, you know, aligning with any certain party.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's a lot of what's going on in America today too.
Right.
Why this division is really happening is that there's those who can't accept the different opinions.
Right.
And those who can accept different opinions and have open conversation.
Mm.
I think that's where the real divide is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because there's libertarians and, you know, frankly, you know, leftist people that are willing to have that open conversation.
Yeah.
One that comes to my mind, first of all, is Ariel Scarcella. I watch her stuff once in a while. I disagree with a lot of what she says. Whew, that girl is liberal. But then there are other points where I'm like, okay, I can see that. Okay, I agree with that. You know,
but see, that's
what I respect about her.
You have the ability and the mindset that, hey, it's not just a one viewpoint world. You have to be able to see all around you. Otherwise, you're going through life with the blinders on.
Yeah. We can't fix society if we don't try to understand each other's points of view.
Exactly.
And so what I respect about people like Ariel is that, you know, she's one of those that I didn't leave the left, but the left left me type person.
Yeah.
Because she knows she's still liberal. She's like, I've never claimed to be a conservative, you know. The ultimate they labeled her as a conservative.
Right.
Because she didn't agree with this far left ideologies, especially when it comes to like genders and some of that stuff. But she's willing to have that conversation with people. Yeah. She's gone on multiple shows. She's more welcome on a conservative show than she is on a liberal show these days.
Yeah.
And she's way liberal.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, what?
Well, I've also got to tell you, before I forget, it's still on the top tip of my brain, is that Joy Behar.
Yeah.
She fell the other day.
I mean,
trying to getting into her chair. The show just started. They walked on out. She went to hop up in her chair, and she face planted.
Oh, Carmen's a beep.
Well, I just wanted to share that bit of information with you.
Made me giggle. Good stuff. This whole, I think this whole overpopulation thing ties in with population control. If overpopulation, I'm sorry, let me say that again. If overpopulation is a myth. So, for those of you that disagree with us, if overpopulation is a myth, why would they be trying to push that narrative?
Exactly.
What would be the point of telling an entire generation of people, or 2 generations of people, that we are overpopulated? How would that benefit them? Food for thought.
Yeah. I don't know how many people out there that listen, watch us, or follow us. Hopefully it's quite a few, and hopefully some of them understand the basics. I mean, they might have played, might not have played, but the basics of the game of chess. In order to play an effective game of chess, you have to assume or think of 4 to 8 moves ahead.
Yep.
Always.
Always. Yeah, it's all about thinking ahead and planning your moves before the other player has even had a chance to make those moves.
Right. That way there you can see if I move here, what's their reaction? What are they going to move? What's going to be there to help stop my advance? And once you figure that out, then you can position your pawns, your bishops, your knights.
So let's say overpopulation is a chess move.
Right.
Okay.
It is.
That said, got our little metaphor here. Overpopulation is a strategical move in the scenario that it's a myth, right?
Right.
So back to the question of why would they do that? Why would they make this move? How does it benefit them?
Right.
So if the
What's the
if at least
aim,
half
the goal
of the population believes that we are on the verge of sustainable collapse, the entire population of the world is going to starve to death because we can't make enough food for everyone. Bing. All of a sudden, they're like, well, what's the point of bringing in more children to a world that's going to starve to death anyhow?
Right.
Who wants to submit their child to that? So for those who wanted to have children, if they're afraid of this, legitimately think that the world is overpopulated and on the verge of collapse, they wouldn't want to subject their child to that horror.
Exactly.
What kind of good parent would,
Yeah.
So right there, you've already got that many people deciding we're not going to have children. That alone would be a benefit for them. The less people they have to control or manipulate in one way or another. I mean, say you have a herd of sheep.
Yeah.
A small herd, you have 15 sheep.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go with a really tiny herd of 15 sheep.
Okay.
That's much more manageable, though, than 100.
Right.
So now we take the population of the world. We're pushing on 9 billion people. It's a lot harder to manage 9+ billion people than it is 3 or 4 billion.
Yeah.
That's more of a manageable number for the different powerful governments in the world.
Okay.
Just food for thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that was the scenario, how would the people rise up?
Well,
how would the people take back control of their own personal liberties and freedom?
I think the best thing they need to do is start banding together. That's the first thing. Let them know it's not just one individual. A whole bunch of us feel this way. Now, thankfully, we live in America. Our Constitution allows us to redress the government over grievances. To petition the government, rather, over grievances.
We also have the right to protect ourselves.
Yes, we do.
Which is something I kind of wanted to bring up because I don't really want to talk about the whole Ukraine-Russia thing per se, because it's one of those things that I personally feel like is another distraction. It's another, look over here. Look over here. Don't look at what this hand's doing. Just look over here. See my magic trick? It was nice, wasn't it? Yeah. But I feel like it's one of those things,
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to what we're doing over here. Don't talk about Klaus Schwab.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shouldn't mention Klaus Schwab.
Are you a conspiracy theorist? Are you?
Maybe misinformation because Klaus Schwab said this stuff and he believes it. Not only him, a lot of people under
He wrote a book about it.
Yeah, he wrote a book on
called
this.
COVID-19 and the Great Reset. Something like that.
Yep.
It was the Great Reset.
The Great Reset.
Something to do with COVID.
In it details how to use COVID-19, the pandemic, the current pandemic, to reset the governments.
As what?
Not only at,
A chess move? Is that what you said?
yeah, is to go ahead and just play out and reset all the governments and to one world order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, currently there's a conflict going on in Ukraine from Russia invading it. How are you going to get people like Vladimir Putin to get on board with a one world government? It takes control away from him. So, and there's people out there that they just love the power. He's been president for about 30 years now.
Yeah. But at the same time, in the, I don't know what you want to call it, the mess of things, I don't trust any of them.
No.
I don't think any of them have their
priorities
straight, or the needs and wants of their general population in mind, even if they say they do. Look at how many times Trudeau has said that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe the Ukrainian president, he did certain things right.
Right.
But how do we know that's not all a show?
Yeah.
How do we know that's not just part of the distraction?
Yep. Well, it's kind of funny you should mention distraction, because what else is going on in the world right now that's supposed to be big major news all over the place? Oh, Biden's Build Back Better plan. Mm-hmm. The one that he's reintroducing to Congress.
Oh, the one that we were
the House, rather.
Talking about is a code phrase for that thing that Klaus Schwab was writing about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But, you know, we're just a couple of conspiracy theorists. Ooh.
Right. We don't know anything.
Oh, but hey.
We just have facts and information that backs up all of our claims, and anyone with a couple brain cells that they could rub together should be able to research all this information on their own.
Well, it's like a few weeks ago, there was all these headlines coming out about how, oh no, guess what? The government might be spying on you. The CIA might have tabs on everything you do. No way. Let me just throw this temple hat away because I don't need it anymore.
Oh, wait. And then it came out that the CIA was actually tapping all of America's phones, communications devices, social media sites. I seen a video just yesterday where a police officer, female police officer, came to the door of this residence. Mm-hmm. The woman answered the door, and she goes, "Can I help you with something?" And the police officer, she goes, "Well, yeah, we've been monitoring your social media site, and we brought over some information, so it would help direct you in the right direction."
A lot of that type of stuff happened in Australia over the COVID-19 stuff.
Right.
There was a lot of people getting arrested for what they said on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, you're spreading misinformation. You're under arrest.
Well, you know, misinformation is code word for let's strip away the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And
anything can be misinformation. Anything.
But just to throw this out there real quick, this is our opinions. This is how we feel. This is what we see. This is the information we've gathered. Let's join in.
According to my calculations.
Let's join in a discussion, an open discussion about such topics.
So, it's kind of off the subject, but it's not. How does anarchy play a part in this?
Anarchy. Ooh, anarchy. It plays a part because in order to achieve that utopian government, that it's a government without government.
Yeah.
That the anarchists want to achieve. In order to do that, we need the... Oh, wait, what was that title of that Klaus Schwab book? Oh, yeah. So we need those pieces in place before we can move forward.
Don't push the red button.
Talking to you, Putin.
And Biden. And Xi
Jinping.
Ping pong ding ding. Oh.
I just had something on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what it was. It probably wasn't important.
So, yeah. Let me try that again. I think that the manipulation of the word anarchy has also been one of their strategic moves.
Oh, yeah.
They thought pretty far in the future on that one. You know?
Yep. But, it's manipulation of any word.
Well,
like the Clint Woodhams and that
other dude,
gentleman. What was his name?
I don't remember now. His is one of those off the wall. Greeley McLashik.
And sorry if we butchered the name, but
I probably did. I'm good at butchering names.
But we just want to say thanks for watching the episodes. Thanks for listening. Thanks for participating and having hopefully an open discussion. And I hope that both of you can find common ground to discuss whatever it is that you want to discuss. Maybe the topic of the video, that'd be a good discussion. Insults are not a discussion.
No. But yeah, in order for the general populace of the entire world to rise up against their governments and still have some structure, a form of an anarchy type society, I think is going to end up being necessary at this point.
Yeah.
And it's odd to think about, but then again, I live in America. And in a lot of ways, many of our extremely rural areas already live in an anarchist mindset. And many of them don't even realize it.
Yes.
Because when you're that far out there, you can't rely on the police.
No.
No one's going to come help you. You know, some places you're at least 10, 15 minutes out. Around here in Southern Oregon, there's little tiny spits of
town.
Yeah, you literally blink and you miss it. And for people that live way out there in what you would call the boonies,
or BFE.
Yeah, exactly. BFN. You know, people that live in those areas, they know that it could take the cops at least driving as fast as they possibly can in their fancy Chargers. It would take them at least 30 minutes to get out there.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in serious distress, you've got to be able to learn to handle shit yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So they already have this mindset of every man for himself. You break into my home, you're going to regret it. There's something about being a hillbilly and a redneck.
Oh, yeah.
That is very anarchist. And there's many of them that would take insult to that, and I hope that they don't, because I love that about those people. Because they understand what it means to fend for yourself.
Right.
And rely on yourself and your own instinct, your own reaction, everything.
Yeah.
So, all that being said, I think it's going to end up being essential in order for us to take down the systems that have oppressed all of us all over the world. In order for that to happen, we need to understand what anarchy actually is. And I know that we've been talking about it a lot lately. For me, I feel like it's kind of it was something that was suppressed in me because no one knows what anarchy is. No one wants to talk about it. They think it's just chaos. And I bring up points and they look at me like I'm crazy and shut me down.
Right.
Even more so than with, like, you know, your Alex Jones InfoWars conspiracy theories. People are more likely to shut me down about anarchy than they are about what's going on in that big electric plant in Alaska. Okay? I'm serious, though. they're more likely to want information about that than they are about anarchy. Because it's just crazy talk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anarchists are just loonies. You know? They believe in chaos and living like savages. I mean, yeah, to an extent, but it's orderly savagery.
Right.
Because that's a thing. Kind of makes me think of the Joker, though, the order and the chaos.
Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos.
There is, though. There is order in the chaos of anarchy. Because it seems like chaos. Because we've never lived in our modern day. We can't even fathom what it's like to live without government.
Right.
Introduce a little anarchy.
How did we survive as hunters and gatherers? We didn't have government then. You know?
Yeah.
We lived in what? Anarchy.
Yep.
We didn't even know what that meant. No idea what that word meant, but that's what it was. And it was understanding the nature around you, understanding your environment, and how to protect yourself in that environment.
Yeah.
So,
That's simple.
I think we all need to kind of analyze ourselves and, what would you guys do in an anarchist situation? If it came to the point where the government had to be taken down, there was no choice. You either fell with the government or you fell with your people.
Right.
Which one would you choose? So, I think that'll wrap it up for today. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think overpopulation is a real problem? Do you think it's a huge myth? Do you think they're trying to control us? Do you think we all need to just accept anarchy for what it is and live in the chaos? I don't know. Let us know. Let us know what you think. And again, we're all here to learn together. Don't forget that. Stay free, everyone.